Hey, everybody, can you hear us?
Hey everyone.
Hey, everybody, sorry about that. A little bit of a technical difficulty on our end, little scheduling faux pas, but we are here a little late, better than never, right? So, Nick and I are going to jump right in here since we're running a little behind. And we apologize for that, but this is an excellent topic. So, we're glad you guys stuck around. For the folks that are still here, this is a big one for us, a big feature update, an important one, and we're glad to see you guys jumping on. So let's dive right into it. Nick, obviously we're playing catch up here, but the newest feature to Roofr here is um, customer and job records, right?
Yeah.
So this is huge, right? This is a huge feature update for us. It's a fantastic addition to what we've already have, in our offering, and it's really going to bolster the abilities of the software, the platform, and really help everyone out with their sales process, right? So, speak a little bit of like what your take is on it, and how important this is to the addition to the platform itself.
Yeah, it's something fantastic. It's really like if you really think about it, it's the missing link that we've had where we've had such a beautiful measurement software that builds into a stunning proposal software, but being able to kind of organize everything like we need to as roofing contractors was missing. We'd have the spots where you could kind of put the customer information in, but like linking a measurement with the proposal wasn't as simple as it could be. You got to think about like most of us roofers are out there. We're doing quoting 20 jobs a week, hopefully getting up there as many as we can. And back in back in the day, your CRM was a pen and paper. It was on a napkin, and if you're driving down the highway, your CRM could go out the window. So now with something like this, a customer record that we have where we could link jobs, customers, measurements, and proposals all in one, and being able to share it with our CRM to make sure that we have no double entry. It's not only going to save you a lot of time, it's just going to be able to organize you and be able to make sure that everything's streamlined in the future.
Yeah, I love that you brought up the CRM piece, right? Because I'm from a CRM background, and that piece is so important to me, having been on that side of it, and understanding the importance of that and what the CRM does for your business, right? And the key to the
Mhm.
CRM is the organization factor, right? The fact that now, if I need information about a customer, I don't have to call back to the office to get it from someone who may have that folder on their desk, right? Or to get a customer's number or to get some specific information about that customer, maybe access to their proposal or something like that. And that's what this gives you. It's starting to create that. I consider it like a customer file, right? It's
Yeah.
imagine having that, manila folder with that customer's paperwork in it. We've just made a digital version of it. And that's what we're creating here. You have a customer, now you have a job. That job becomes that manila folder, and everything that you do now inside of Roofr falls into that manila folder, but it's easily accessible wherever you are, whether you're out in the field, in the truck, on the job site, on the boat fishing, whatever the case may be. You can jump in there and you can see exactly what's going on with that customer and everything that you've done with it. And it's a fantastic tool, and it's really going to bring the organization of everything together, right?
Yeah.
So I guess let's jump into it, Nick. If you're ready, I don't know if you're ready to roll here, but
I'm always ready to roll, especially anything comes through.
so let's dive in and let's talk about the process, right? So the idea behind this is now we're starting to really build a process for the roofer inside of Roofr, right, into our
Mhm.
platform, right? ER to the R, right there, the difference.
I
So
love it.
you know, so um, so the idea is now you're capturing your leads. Where do you go with them? Well, in the past, you went either to a pen and paper or you went to your CRM. Then, if you went to your CRM, then you had to come over here or to another platform to create your measurement. And the idea at Roofr here is to build a process where you guys can operate all in the same software, right? Like the idea is let's do it all under one hood, right? Let's do it all in the same spot. That way it's seamless, it's easy to find, it's easy to organize it, and have the team learn it and adopt it, right? And that's really, this is like Nick said, this was the missing link. This is the key piece, right? We get a lead in. Where do we go with that lead? It used to be, hey, we went to our CRM or our paper or manila folder. Now we're going to Roofr with it, and we're entering in that leads information, right?
Yeah, exactly. And what I love about this is that this is going to help out both sides of our contractors, our very small contractors and our very large contractors who work with us. The very small ones have never had a need for a CRM. They don't need it because they're kind of growing. They're in that growth stage and ready to get to the next step. So being able to offer something like this is going to be able to help start organizing them so that they're able to kind of streamline those processes, learn from them, and grow into something bigger. For our large contractors that have multiple members on the team, who have a CRM that they're already kind of dedicated in, they're not having to change anything with our integrations that we'll show through this. You're just going to avoid double entry. Everything's going to pass to and from with ease from here. So what we have here is we have our regular, I'm just starting off on this page, which is our Roofr reports page. You guys are all familiar with this. It's our flagship product. But now you can see on the left-hand side, we have jobs and customers underneath measurements and proposals. And the way that I like to kind of look at it is like a bottom up process from this here. So if you click on customers,
process being Canadian.
That's right.
Americans, it's a process.
That's right. I was on a call with one of our users. I was doing a demo with him out in Atlanta, and he's like, "Were you born and raised in Toronto?" And I was just like, "Yeah." And he goes, "You don't sound too Canadian." I was just like, "No, well, we sound it pretty good." And then I went out here, and I was like, "That's my dead giveaway." Out and process. So there's a few key indicators with me. That and the fact that, like, if you walk out of this room, it's just maple syrup all over the walls. So, so on what I like to break it down for the customer record here is that it's kind of like a Russian nesting doll. I like to think of like the customer as like the big shell. Inside that shell, there's jobs, and inside those jobs are measurements and proposals. So just you're always like stacking in there. So when you're looking at something like this, you have now all your customers. And the beauty about our system is we backfilled. If you ever had a customer information in any of the measurements or proposals, it created these already for you. So with here, if you have the customer, let's just say I have my customer here. His name is John Jones. He was a lightweight heavyweight champion for the UFC, of course. So if I click on John Jones here, I open up this shell a little bit, this first level. I now have jobs because John Jones, he's been pretty good in the UFC. He's got multiple homes. So we have now multiple jobs, and we have everything in here that you need: name, email, phone number, and this is the fun part that we'll get into a little bit later, the assignee. I know you guys, a lot of you have been asking for it, and now, yes, you can assign things to different members on your team. So now inside those jobs, you can open up the job and you have your measurement reports and your proposals, 1, 2, multiple. If you want to order a Roofr report, you can do it from here as well. It really just is opening up the options for you to start and end wherever you want in Roofr, but to at the same time completely organize it. How do you think this is going to work with our customers here when they get the lead, Pete?
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity. Like you said, the fact that on the back end, the system is automatically organizing it, right? So it's regardless of where you want to go first. If you want to go in and create a customer, create that measurement and have it create a job, or whether you just want to go straight in and create a measurement and assign it to a customer, however you want to do it, the system is going to kind of pull it all together for you on the back end. You're not going to have to worry about where you started the process in here. There's not a very specific cadence to it. You can kind of go all over, and the system is going to pull it all together and automatically build you that little file there, that little customer record that you can then go back to later on and refer to. And, the piece that I always love about this is that it gives you that flexibility to where, if let's say you and I are both salesmen at a company, or you're a salesman, I'm a production manager, whatever the case may be, you go through your end of the process. And then when it gets to production and comes to me, I can just go in there and look up by the address or the customer or whatever the case may be, find that file and see everything that's in there, right? Like maybe I'm responsible for ordering material. I go into that job and now I can find the measurement report. You know, I can see what you quoted them, and now I know exactly what I have to order, right? So I love the fact that it makes it just so easy for the entire team to utilize this file without having to, you know, physically hand view a manila envelope full of papers. You know, I can access it from my house or my truck, you know, and go about my day without ever having to even communicate with you, right? All I got to do is look up that customer.
Yeah, and it really kind of is that like mini CRM feel now, and you're able to kind of open it up anywhere. If you got your salespeople in here, your production managers in here, and with the assigning tool that we'll get into a little bit later, you could have a salesperson completely like measure the job, build the job, sell the job, and then you could just assign it over to your project manager to kind of order everything in. With Roofr teams, especially if you're on a premium, you have unlimited users per office. It's a no-brainer. So we'll quickly kind of go over how this kind of goes, and we'll look at the way to open it up and create a system from the customer portal. And then we'll go the back end way, where it's like if you're creating it from a customer record from a measurements side. So to start off, like one of the quick ways to do it is you're in customers, you hit new customer, and it's pretty simple from here, right? We're going to end up adding some things in here. So Tom Hardy is our client. Tom.Hardy@hardy.com. It's a sweet email, I think so. So there's his phone number, and I'm going to assign it to my to Oscar. Oscar is my sales rep here, and I could have that go directly over to him. So now I have that opened. I have successfully saved that customer, and now when I go into here and search for his name, boom, Tom Hardy comes up. All his information's here. It's assigned to him. If I want to take it back, by the way, only admins can do this. So if I do want to take it away from Oscar and I decide to, you know, give it to John or give it back to me, not a problem. You could change the entire process with that, and it will show you who the assignee is here. Now, the fun part is once you click into Tom Hardy, we notice here that there's no jobs associated with it. So what do? We're going to go in and we can go to jobs now. We can look at all these jobs that we have here, and we could assign any of these to him right there. So we can go here, 40 Bay Street. We're going to add in Tom Hardy. So I could start a customer record even from just the jobs level. I can create a new one by adding a new, or I could just select on the one that's here, Tom Hardy. All the information goes in, you hit save, and now Tom Hardy is now the customer. If I was over here, and if we noticed, we'll go back to jobs here for a sec. Notice that this is assigned to Tiffany on my team, and I want to assign this to Tom Hardy as well. But there's a conflict in ownership, means that Tiffany is the current assignee, but the whole customer profile is assigned to me at Roofr. That's not a problem. You could keep it with Tiffany, or you can give it all to me. So it really kind of allows you to problem solve at any corner. You're not going to get duplicates. You're not going to have any issues like that. And you're able to kind of open that up as we go from here. The other fun part is once you open up this job, you notice that there's no Roofr reports, no DIYs, and no proposals. Not a problem. You don't have to go all the way out and go back into measurements and proposals. You can do it right from here. So I can create a DIY where it will bring me right to the DIY place where I can pick a job, the address and draw it out. This is for the Air Canada Centre down in Toronto where the Maple Leafs play. So I'm just going to draw a gable roof on this. I think they're going some construction for this nice little gable roof on top of it. This is where one day we will house all of our trophies when we finally win one. It'll be a while. We've been waiting since 1967, so we'll see. But we could just quickly add these in. 412, hit save, and we go back into jobs here. You can see now the measurement is here, and I could even view the DIY from here. If I want to go back in here as well, and I want to order a roof report, you can do it where we do it for you, or we can just simply create a proposal from here. The cool thing is it's only going to bring in the address that you just measured in this job. It's cutting down so much time. If you want to create without measurement, you still can, but I could just click on this, create the measurement. We'll go with an ICO template here. Use this template, and from one spot, we're able to streamline this process even more than we've already done before. Let's face it, it wasn't a complicated system before. It was pretty easy to use and easy to add everything in. All you have to do is just jump in, order it from the the customer list. You could order it from assign a job and order it from there. You're able to really get this entire process done, and it's all in one system now. It's already set and already ready to go.
Yeah, and the beauty of this, like you said, being able to assign this to someone in your company, now your salesman can essentially operate in here, right? You can take a customer in, assign it to that salesman, and then he can run through this entire process like you just showed, you know, all from that same screen pretty much, all inside of Roofr. There's no jumping around. There's no having to go someplace else to get your measurement or to get your proposal started. It's going to be just a simple, straightforward, streamlined process.
And think about it this way too. Like, look at this screen here. You could have all your jobs here. So you can create a job in your CRM for the larger contractors that we have here that are with a Job Nimbus and AccuLinks or something, and set up the Zapier integration. Our customer success team is going to help you build that out very quick and easy. And you could book a meeting on the meeting link in the top of the comments there. But you get a lead that comes in, you put it into your CRM. Automatically, a job and customer is created in Roofr. So you have that set up here, where you have that all lined in here. You go into Roofr, you notice that, hey, we do not have a measurement for 54313 Range Road 260. Alrighty, we just need to get a measurement in there. In this case, for 40 Bay Street, Tiffany, we could see that she's already done a measurement and done a proposal. I could even go and edit the job. I could order another report. I could figure all this stuff right from here, or I could hop right in and take a look at the status of everything from one spot. I don't have to go to the proposals tab to check this out and see that it's here. And the fun part is, because now it's a two-way zap, this customer file with all this information just got zapped over to your CRM again. So in there, you now have an update that Tiffany has done a measurement for Tom Hardy at 40 Bay Street and has sent out a proposal. When it gets viewed, there's another token there that's going to alert you from there as well. You have everything in one spot. And like we said, we can even go back into customers, jump into Hardy time. Here we are. Up in here. And I could see all the jobs that are associated with him, and I can go back in again, and we're in the same situation again. It really opens up the door to just like no double entry, a big kind of view where you can see who's working on their projects, when, what am I missing? If you're a single prop guy and you have so many things going on that you don't know like what to do next, now you can just go into jobs and see, who haven't I quoted yet? Who haven't I measured the roof for yet? Not a problem. I have this list right here that's able to do this, and you could run through this. This could be your beginner CRM, your mini CRM that's going to help you kind of stay organized and close more jobs and be on top. Nobody's going to miss a meeting now.
Yeah, and I love that fact of it because, like obviously I'm a CRM guy, like that's where I came from, and I definitely see the benefits of a CRM, but I also understand that CRMs are cost prohibitive, right? Like they're not for everybody. If I'm a smaller company, having something that's going to cost me hundreds of dollars a month and have all of this functionality, that so many of these CRMs have added in, may not be what I'm actually looking for, right? It might be more than what I need. So let's be honest. I may not be in a position where I have to have production calendars and the ability to communicate with subcontractors because my business may not be there yet. This is that tool that kind of bridges the gap, right? Like you don't have to be a pen and paper guy just because you don't want to go the full-blown CRM route anymore. You can go to this. You've got that dashboard. You can see the status of the events, what's going on. You can see kind of a to-do list here of what, like Nick said, what you have done, what you potentially are missing with a customer. where they stand in that process, and you know where you got to go next, right? You know, who do I need to order reports for? Who do I need to create a proposal for? I can click into a customer and get to that proposal and see what the status of it is. He said, if it gets to the point where you later on you add a CRM to to your technology stack, then you just sync it to this through Zapier, and all that information is going to feed right over, right? So you're not losing all the data. Like so many times when I was on the CRM side, the biggest issue with CRMs is that once you're in there and you start piling them full of data, it's really tough to make a switch, right? It's really tough to make a change. And you're kind of like locked to that CRM, you're married to it. In this case, by doing so much of your sales outside of the CRM and still capturing all that information, you have the ability to zap it wherever you need to. So if you use a CRM this year and next year you guys decide to go to a different CRM, you just hook it up through Zapier and you can zap that information over it because it's still in your Roofr account, and that's a huge, huge advantage.
Yeah. And this is another thing too. CRMs are so helpful. They're so good, but a lot of them are very, very robust, and not every roofer needs all those bells and whistles yet. Not yet. They're growing to it. So if you want to start off, you want to start organizing it, it's 2022, you want to kind of streamline your process, not a problem. You can build out quotes. And as you could see while you were talking there, I noticed that Hill Drive job, 28 Hill Drive, didn't have a proposal. I didn't even go into the jobs section there. I just clicked on the three dots, said create proposal, and created a proposal from there. And now the customer can sign it, get ready for it, send everything in, and you're good to go. Like, this is a system now that there's really no missing out on it. We're building something for you guys, which is basically us roofers, trying to figure out a way that we can kind of streamline this process from front to back.
Yeah. And what I love about it is, like you said earlier, it was already a simple process and we just made it simpler. Like we just really made it even easier to get from point A to point B inside of this platform, right? Like, before, you'd create your measurement, you'd go to your proposal, like it was flowing together, but now it's like, it's just so simplistic to have that job in there and be able to just add your measurement, add your proposal, create that manila folder, right? Create that digital folder full of everything that you need without ever leaving that screen, essentially, right? And I mean, you see how quickly Nic is creating things in here, just from creating a customer, creating a job, how quickly he clicked those dots and just created a proposal in the 2 minutes I was talking. It's going to make you so much more efficient that it's unbelievable how much it can do for your business. And, especially like if I'm a smaller guy, maybe I'm someone who's doing repairs, maybe I'm someone who's just getting going, I have a small staff. This is such an agile, simple platform to implement that it makes sense, right? Like it makes sense to go this route. There'll be a time where you want to go with something, more robust from like a CRM standpoint that has all those other bells and whistles, but they aren't necessarily necessary at this point. So this is where you go, right? You still have that functionality, and we've built this process that allows you to capture an end-to-end sales process, right? From the time you get that lead to the time you get that signature, you can live in here now.
Yeah, and the really cool thing is that like we are kind of like your growth software. Like we're here to kind of help you grow, get you to that next level. Whether you're big or small, we want to kind of streamline your process. We want to be able to help you sell more with ease. We want you to spend more time with your family or spend more time on your business building it. And the more things that we're kind of coming up with here is allowing you to do that. I was so excited. Pete knows how excited I was before this was coming out. I just wanted to like scream it from the rooftops, but we're trying to keep it low key. No pun intended, rooftops. But wanted to get everything moving. So we're so excited to have it out. And our customer success team will love to kind of train you up on this. Our sales team would love to train you up on this. And like we said on the top of the comments there, you do have the meeting links available. But real quick, I wanted to kind of show, we saw this way and how you can kind of search somebody out right now. Like one of your customers in there, find out where they are, find out the customer stuff. But how do we do it from the other way? So there's a lot of times where you're going to be ordering a job for someone, like a measurement for someone. and then you got to create a job from it. And you don't want to go in and kind of create everything back at once. So let's just do this. We're going to go quickly into DIY reports. You can do it from the order reports or whatever too. But if I just go in and I take an address here, let's just say we'll go 12 Main Street, Schaumburg. An address from where I grew up. So have this here, create a DIY. We're going to continue, and it will be the same process that you would normally see. You get a bunch of images here. We could either measure it for us, like we could measure it for you, or the other way around. This is a nice, easy job. And you can order this in and draw it out real quick. I'm going to do a super quick version of it, so I'm not going to do it super nice with my layers that I normally do, Pete, but we'll get this in just to kind of show what we can do with this and build out. But think about this now. You get a call from your client. They say, hey, Pete, from Pete's Roofing. I love that name for your faux roofing company. Yeah, just fits really nicely. But hey, Pete, looking for a job. My address is 12 Main Street. And you're like, cool. What's your information? My name is, let's just say this person's name is Peyton Manning. And Peyton Manning, my number is 555 and my email is peyton@manning.com. So that's something that you can do now. You can go right into your system here. You could add in the customer information. You just wrote down that on a piece of paper there, so you know exactly where they are, who they are, and everything else. You could just mark these up real quick. And you could search it out, draw it out, and then right before you send it out, I missed one valley. Here's a great example of why Roofr is great. You're not going to have to restart if you miss something. You could just go back in, draw it out, and we're able to go from there. So edges, get that valley in. And now the facets, it's a 512 all the way across. Let me go save. Great. So Peyton Manning at manning.com. That's the customer's information. So now I'm in DIY. I have this address here. I've already completed it, but I don't have to go into customers or jobs to create something. I can now just go in here. Peyton Manning. There's no Peyton Manning in my system, so I can just go click on add Peyton Manning, put in the email, peyton@manning.com. I really hope that's not an actual email because that would be really awkward. Be emailing one of my heroes, but that would be really cool if he responded. But then I just hit save, and now this is in here. So I haven't touched jobs, I haven't touched customers. I just quickly drew this out and I wrote in Peyton in here. Now what happens in the back end? I'm just going to quickly go into search here. Manning. There's a Peyton Manning right there at peytonmanning.com. It was created today. Open it up. There's a job already created for that. Let's go in there. Holy smokes. There's a measurement that's there and it's already completed. Like, that's how simple it is. The customer can call you and you can do it any way you want. If you're kind of worried looking at this, be like, hey, I already got my process with Roofr. Pete's got me in my head. I already got my process here and I don't want to kind of shake it up too much. I always go measurement first and then I add the customer details in. Not a problem. Our system now is so set up that you can literally just go in there and like, oh crap, that's his name again. I got to put in his information. Customer and job's already created. And if it's linked to your CRM already, that's already been sent over to your CRM. No double entry, no mistakes, anything like that. Makes it so easy. Now, if I go back into jobs, I notice here, darn it, I forgot to send a proposal out to Peyton. Not a problem. Just hit create proposal. The address is already there. Use this measurement. Let's pick off something real easy here. This is going to be a multi-option quote that we're going to create in a matter of seconds. And really, everybody who's watching at home later or now live, think about how quickly that process went. Pete's Peyton Manning gave me a call. I'm Pete at Pete's Roofing. Probably should have done it the other way that I'm Peyton Manning, but figured this out. He called me. I was able to draw out his roof, create a customer record. It's synced to my CRM already. I created a 5-option proposal with everything that's in here. I'm going to click on select multi-option. It's already there. Preview and send. And it's ready to send out to Peyton already. Think about that from a customer standpoint, not to mention a 2-time Super Bowl winner. They're going to be so blown away that they just called your roofing company and they're in a time of need. Their roof is leaking. They're really, really scared about it. They don't want any more damage to come in. And you were able to get a measurement, build a multi-option proposal, and send it out to them in a matter of like, what is this, couple minutes now?
7
minutes.
It took you 7 minutes to do the whole entire thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that included drawing it. I was actually keeping track.
Yeah.
So
maybe you were. Wow, that's good. Yeah. I could do better than that. I could get faster.
Well, we were talking while you were measuring, so it probably slowed us down.
Yeah, exactly. And I missed the valley, so I had to go back.
Yeah.
But like in 7 minutes, you have this multi-option detailed proposal sent out. We now have email templated messages in there, so I don't even have to like stop. I just have everything in, and now Peyton's got this in his email. You can even give him a call back, like, Peyton, you won't believe this. Check out your email. And he's going to be blown away by this. You're going to have it all there. It's going to be in your CRM and in Roofr. You're going to be able to go back and look in and see if anybody's viewed it or what's the situation here. Everything's right here. It's crazy how good this is now.
Yeah. I mean, and speak to that, Nick. Like you spent a lot of time out in the field, and so did I. Speak to how that process would have traditionally worked, right? Where you're going out, potentially having to hand measure, let's say, right? And how long and lengthy a process that would have been if we were still doing this pen and paper, having to create, like, let's say, a customer file and maybe come back to the office or call someone back at the office to say, hey, here's the measurements I came up with. Can you create me a proposal, type something up? Then I got to go get it. Then I got to come back to potentially get a signature, right? Like you're talking hours, if not potentially even multiple days.
Yeah.
Process, right? Like
on average, it's like a 24 to 48 hour turnaround. Like that's what people expected. To put it into like actual miles and time here, that house that I measured, I said was in my hometown. My actual house that I grew up in, where the roofing office was a 9-minute drive to this address. I know that because I've done that drive so many times. It was just under 10 minutes. I was able to get out a measurement and a quote and a customer record and sync it with my CRM in 7. So even if I got off the phone and sprinted to the car and started it up and sped down the road, I would not have had enough time to get to the address to start my measurement than it was for me to do the entire system.
The entire process. Yeah. It's unbelievable. The time savings is unbelievable. And like you said earlier, what we've done here is created a product that allows you to do so many things now. Think about all that extra time, right? Like he just said, it took 9 minutes just to drive to the property. And now I'm quoting in that same amount of time, so if you got guys that were running 3 appointments a day, now they could potentially be running 5 or 6, or more, if they wanted to, or like you said before, or you spend more time with your family. Like you could potentially be losing days, right, off of your schedule.
Yeah, it's crazy. One of our favorite people favorite customers that we like talking to a lot, Corey from South Shore Roofing in Tampa, when he was about to come on to Roofr and we were talking with him, I asked him, like, what is your biggest problem right now? And he said, my biggest problem is I have more leads than know what to do with it. So the system is, he said that my sales reps are fantastic. They're rock stars, but to properly handle lead, they could only do around 3 to 4 a day to give them the time that they needed, to help them out with everything, to make sure that that customer is educated and stuff. and just driving from place to place. Once we are able to give a system like this, it's able to kind of open up that door. So those same sales reps can give the same information to them, to the homeowners, the same attention to detail to everything to them, and not be able to take away, being able to add on more jobs on their plate, which means at the end of the day, we all know that we all have our close rates, but it's a numbers game in sales. You're not going to win every job that you're going. You're not batting 1,000. But now you're opening up to more jobs sold for your company, more customers being able to be helped, and more referrals out there with your name. It just opens up the door. Time is everything. And that's something that we don't have. Not to mention, especially now with the price of gas and everything, the amount of money that you're just spending driving from place to place. You're able to save money as a company owner, as a salesperson, as anything.
Yeah, I want to take this second here and just as we're kind of like wrapping this up and talking about the benefits of it, to open up the chat and just say like, hey, if you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat for us. We'd love to, jump on the opportunity here to answer any questions about customer record, about jobs, while you've got us here, and see if there's anything that, we can help you out with, or anything that we could essentially clarify here when it comes to, to the new features.
There we are. One thing I wanted to quickly show here is I had this customer here just while we're waiting for the questions to come in. Have this customer here. If you do have a different name for the customer, you could always hit details, close it out, and open up a new one. So you can now have Tom Brady as a counterpart to our boy Peyton, and then be able to open everything up there. You could even just reassign it from there as well. And just really kind of simplifying the process even more. One last thing I do want to show while we're waiting for some questions here is I'm ordering an address. Let's just do the same one we did last time, Main Street in Schaumburg. It's going to allow us to know, are we going to attach it to the same job, or is this a different job but the same address? And you're able to link and unlink things there. So really any kind of situation that you run into, we have this kind of set up and ready to help out with everything.
Yeah, and I think that's great. It's like the fact that it is a smart system here, and it's catching any opportunities that we would have to potentially duplicate something, duplicate a job, duplicate a customer, having those in place are huge. I know, it's a huge problem a lot of times when you have a CRM or potentially using something like a CRM, even an Excel spreadsheet. I've seen people on Excel, trying to keep track of stuff, and it's very easy to duplicate things. And the fact that the system is smart and capturing that stuff makes a huge difference.
Exactly. Here we are. My favorite thing, honestly, is the fact that we have multiple jobs here. We can assign an entire customer to somebody else. So if you're going to production, you need anything, you're really set up for any situation now.
Well, and it's a great tool, for the fact that I know from the CRM standpoint, what we used to do a lot of times is you would have your sales process, and then you'd get to that certain point where you'd want to reassign that customer to, let's say, your production manager or someone in the office who's going to have to invoice or things like that. And this gives you the ability to just go in quickly and reassign that customer if needed, right? So you can expose it to someone completely different. So if it's moving down the flow here of the process, we can easily change who the responsibility is. And, that person can pick up right where the other person left off.
Exactly. All right.
Well, no questions in the chat. So I guess we've covered everything thoroughly here, Nick. We look like superstars. No one even has a question. So, like Nick said, though, if you guys do have questions, always feel free to reach out to us. We're always here to help. Myself, Nick, the entire sales team, the customer success team. It's literally what we're here to do, is guide you through this, show you these new features, how to use them, how to get them hooked up, via Zapier. If you want to do that route, we can help you with that. So, definitely take advantage of us and utilize us to get the most out of this product and really help you, get it set up the way you want it to function with your business.
Yeah, exactly. We're here to kind of help you guys grow. Like, that's our favorite thing in the world, is seeing our products being able to help you grow as a company, kind of grow as a team and everything else like that. So anything that we could do to help, you got the meeting links at the top there, or just go right into roofr.com and you can click on book a meeting. One of us will be ready to help you out there.
All right. I really appreciate everybody bearing with us. Sorry for the technical difficulties there in the beginning of it. And, thanks to everyone who hung on here, and hopefully you guys learned a bunch, and stay tuned for the next masterclass. We look forward to seeing you then.
Thanks, everyone.